was getting the grant, but it's
You want to lead the pledge today?
sure.
Good morning, everyone. Thank y'all for joining us today for the September 20th MCMR meeting this morning. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order now. I'm going to ask Commissioner Roberts to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Cam. All right, so Director Spraggins is with us today remotely. He's listening in and he has the ability to talk. Joe, are you there?
I'm here listening. Thank you.
All right, good. We got you all logged in. We're going to have Patrick Levine sitting in his spot today. Patrick, would you mind leading us in a prayer this morning?
Father, we thank you and we praise you for the opportunity to be here today. Lord, thank you for the beautiful resources you've given us on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And we ask that you give us wisdom as we make decisions to help protect it. Lord, we give you praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, so a little bit of housekeeping. First thing, do we need to make a motion to table this, Miss Sandy?
Yes,
All
we
right.
do.
So the minutes from August 18th are not ready. They will be ready by the next meeting. I'm gonna ask for a motion to table the approval of the minutes until the October meeting.
I'll make a motion to table the minutes.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next up is the approval of the agenda. We're gonna ask to make a change to the agenda today. We're gonna have to move the October meeting, and we're gonna put that in under M, other business. We'll deal with that whenever we get there. Can I get a motion to add the meeting change for October to M?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Do we still need to approve the agenda now?
Yes, approve it as amended.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We got all that out of the way. That was painless. You go handle Joe's part. I'm gonna turn it over to Patrick.
Well, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to fill in today. As always, it's been a busy month at the Department of Marine Resources, and we'll be able to share a few things that have gone on and some of the things that are coming up. And before we get started, as you mentioned, Director Spraggins is online, and he wants to share with everybody remotely. So, Director Spraggins, you take the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. And for, what I'd like to do, I'd like to ask that, for a special thing to happen at the end of the service today. September the 3rd, we lost a great icon in the state of Mississippi and a great person that was part of this fisheries for the for South Mississippi, and Mr. Victor Marver. And Mr. Victor was not just a processor or not just a person in the fishery world. He was also a great person that worked and served our country, and he also worked and served the state of Mississippi and the Gulf Coast. He was an icon here, and he, had a lot of things that we could read forever and talk about him forever for what he's done. But I can tell you right now that I learned Oyster 101 from him, because the man was amazing what he could tell me about what was going on and how we got to the situation we're in and what we could do to change it. And he was extremely graceful to tell me that. Also, he was also the head of the American Shrimp Processors Association, and he served 2 terms as the president. And, he went to the Merchant Marine Academy, served our country there, and then went to the Korean War. And I just wanted to ask if we could possibly, at the end of this meeting, close our meeting in honor of Mr. Victor Marver.
I think that sounds like a great idea, Joe. We will make sure to do that.
Okay. Patrick, I'll turn it back over to you.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And, when you think about Mr. Victor and the guidance that he's given us, just amazing amount of knowledge, wealth of knowledge and resources. So we're thankful for that. We've had a few things going on. It was mentioned last month about the derelict vessel program, and we wanted to update on that again today. Since we started tracking derelict vessels, we've had a total of 55 that have been reported to us. Total of 55 that have been reported to us. The good news is most of them, the owner taking care of it, 32 of them have been removed. And so just making phone calls, making contacts, knocking on doors, working with our derelict vessel folks, our legal team, writing letters and notifying the public. It's amazing that 32 of them have been moved. 23 of them are still pending, and of those 23, 10 of them already have court dates set up, ready to go. And so maybe we can encourage folks. It's not that we want to penalize or fine anybody. We don't want anybody to have a lot of stress, but what we want to do is clean up the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And we don't want to hurt anybody in the process or hinder anybody. We just want to encourage them to get those vessels picked up, get them moved. And if we sit down and we have conversations, that goes a long ways. You know, we want to help out. And so really good things that are happening there. And, you know, huge kudos to our legal staff and to some of our team. There's a vessel in Ocean Springs off of Washington Avenue. If you look over there, the Captain Ben, it was our first one that went to court, and we received a court order to remove that vessel. So it's our very first one that we're walking out the process of using the funding that was provided by the legislature to get that vessel moved. And so we're excited about that we're paving a way to clean up the Gulf Coast. And it's a team effort. When you think about these derelict vessels, it's one thing to, have the legislation, to have the funding, to have the resources, to have the court order. Well, then it's going to take the team of folks that are out there that say, hey, I'm willing to get out there and move that boat. And so if you're interested in being on a list to bid on removing some of these derelict vessels, contact our procurement office, talk to them, get on the list, and then that way, whenever we need help getting them out, you can be on that contact list, because we want that to happen. So super thankful for everybody that's working on the derelict vessels, and look forward to cleaning up the coast. You know, snapper season, we're going to talk about snapper season in K just a little bit. It looks like Matt's ready. We'll do it in K. Okay, we're going to do it in K. We're going to talk about snapper season, but it's been a great year, and I know a lot of folks have been reaching out to us and saying, when is snapper season? When is it going to close? When is it going to end? Well, we're going to hear about that in K here in just a little bit. Last month we mentioned the surplus auction that we had. Good news is, not only did we put a lot of things out on bid, a lot of those things have been paid for, and a lot of that stuff's been picked up. And so we have a few more items that need to be picked up, but for the most part, all of our surplus assets have been picked up and taken care of, and just a fantastic opportunity to be able to clean up and also put some funding back here at the agency. I had the opportunity the other day to go to the Biloxi Seafood Festival, and I know that it's going to be mentioned later on, but walking around the festival, the most popular booth that they had there was a DMR booth, and lots of people asking questions, and so many of our staff members here at the DMR volunteered to work that booth, and they did a fantastic job. I mean, they looked professional, they represented the agency well. I know that there was a need, and a lot of our staff stepped up and said, you know what, I'll go over there and hang out. And they did a phenomenal job. And so thank you to everybody at the DMR that stepped up and helped out with that, because that was a huge, huge thing to be able to promote the agency, promote the resources we have on the coast. September the 24th, just around the corner, here in a couple of days, it's going to be National Estuaries Day. And the NEAR is going to be having a fun day out there from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. People have the opportunity to see the facility, to look at the estuary that's out there. There are some boat rides that are available on the Miss NEAR, and you have to RSVP to do that. So if you're interested in being a part of National Estuaries Day, be sure to contact the NEAR, especially if you want to sign up to go on a boat ride that day. It's coming up. And, the Marine Patrol guys that are back in the back, Chief and his team, the boating season, historically it's always said that it runs from, Memorial Day to Labor Day. And from Memorial Day to Labor Day, those Marine Patrol officers, I'm telling you, when you throw in boating safety, when you throw in snapper season, when you throw in shrimp season, when you throw in all the things that are going on at once, it's a lot of work and a little bit of play. And I just want to say thank you to them for the hard work that they've been putting in, because there've been a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of hard days, and Labor Day marks what we would traditionally call the end of the boating season. They've done a phenomenal job, and I know Chief will share in just a little bit. And as a reminder, if anybody has a comment, public comment that they'd like to share, TJ's back in the back. And so if anybody has a public comment that they'd like to put in, be sure to see TJ and he'll get it turned in. And so that's what I have so far on the director's report. Our team, it's growing, and I'm thankful that our team grows. We have some new employees that have come on board. We have Anna Gamblin from she's a environmental natural resources specialist 1, a paramedic at Coastal Resources. Chaz Newman, is going to be an environmental natural resources specialist 1 in Coastal Resources. Roy Carroll is a GIS specialist 1. I know Roy's over there on the side helping us out today, and thankful that Roy's here. Jared Perry, a compliance officer with Marine Fisheries. And then we have a few promotions, and so many people here deserve promotions. We've had a few of them. Sandra Bilbo was promoted to Environmental Natural Resource Specialist Team Lead out at the NEAR. Brett James was promoted to an Environmental Natural Resource Specialist 2. And Daniel Cushell was promoted to a Natural Resources Specialist 2 in Coastal Resources. So, not only are we adding to our team, but able to promote some of our team, and we're excited about that. So, quite a few things that are going on. And Tracy, would you happen to have an update for us on the USDA processors grant?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Patrick, and legal team. So we've been preparing the final payout agreements that will be signed by the eligible applicants and securing approvals. Just to recap, the process was open application July 1st through August 16th. We had only 4 people found ineligible. We had 11 eligible. 3 of those were catfish processors. So hopefully within the next month or so, we'll see some results, some payouts.
Good job. Y'all got that one done quick. 3 years still
Really
waiting on
good at it.
Bonacary, and that one seems like it was in overdrive. That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Rick, can you give us an update on Bonacary?
Well, Commissioner Daniels, you did a pretty good job, but yeah. I think I mentioned to y'all last month that we did receive some comments from OMB through NOAA. We've addressed those comments and sent them back. They were relatively mild, really easy, just kind of minor things. We fixed those up and sent them back. So, I couldn't tell you what's going to happen, but hopefully that's the end of it. That's the update I have right now.
Thank you. Y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you, Rick. Now we have action updates from the last meeting.
At the last meeting, the commission recommended and the director approved the following motions. The requested variance and wetlands permit contingent upon clearance from MDEQ for the city of Biloxi to reconstruct the Lighthouse Pier and install a jetty in the Mississippi Sound south of the intersection of US 90 and Porter Avenue in Biloxi. And the approval of the following state saltwater youth finfish records. Conventional tackle is leatherjack, and flying fish record for ladyfish, and that both of those by Rhodey Arms. And that's it.
Well, thank you for those updates. And I know I was in the hallway the other day, and I think I saw Mr. Arms maybe even bringing another one that we'll be seeing possibly next month. That little guy, I tell you, he's doing a lot of fishing and breaking a lot of records. So that's super exciting to pass that heritage on. That's
Looks
a good
like
thing.
he's got 2 here today.
And I think he'll have some more next month.
Man,
And
that's
so-
awesome.
So it's
Patrick, one thing I just wanted to touch on. I don't know if everybody understands how great that legislation was on the derelict vessels, and thank you to everyone in the department that worked on getting that through, and thank you to our legislators in Jackson for making that happen. That's a big win for the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Absolutely, it is. It is huge, and it's really neat whenever you see those vessels move. That process occurs, and just to make things look a lot better out there.
Well, I mean, we had one in my neighborhood, and I'm on the board for that neighborhood, and I was always getting the calls. Why isn't DMR doing something about this? And it was nice to finally be able to say, "Hang on, it's coming. Let's see what happens." And that thing was out of the water like that as soon as the owner started getting phone calls from the department. So
That's right.
it was cool to see that unfold.
Well, and you know what? If you're listening online or you're in the meeting and somebody has a derelict vessel, you can go to our website dmr.ms.gov, go to programs, derelict vessels, and there's a vessel of concern report. We encourage the public keep putting those vessels in there, and we get to it as we can. We can't do them all overnight, but we are listening and looking at every case, and we want to continue to do that.
Making progress. That's what
Right.
it's all about. All right. Thank you. Joe, do you have anything else on that before we move on?
No, I don't. Thank y'all very much.
Commissioners report. Do any of our commissioners have anything today?
Yeah, so special thanks to Tracy and Rick and the team for being able to get those processors grants turned around. Just a quick idea what's going on in the domestic shrimp business. In my 20 years, it's been about the worst that I've ever seen it. So you've got the vessels who are out there paying twice as much for diesel as they were last year, and the shrimp prices actually fell, depending on the sizes, somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 75%. So, every little bit we can get out before this season, it certainly helps alleviate some inventory pressure and allow us to go back buying some product. There are processors all over the coast, large, small, who are essentially ceasing operations for a period of a week or two. And there's, just a limited availability for people who are actually buying processing shrimp right now. So, big struggle along the Gulf Coast. I think Louisiana's having a meeting today, and they are trying to double down on their import labeling and marketing efforts. So, it takes everybody, and what you guys did was extremely important, and we thank you.
Cam? All right. Office Marine Patrol Chief. I'll go ahead and tell you before you get started. I got stopped myself on the way into the harbor the other day, and very pleasant stop. Checked everything out. Everything was good. He was courteous, professional, and got everything done and moved on. It was nice to see him out there.
Well, very good. That's what we strive for, Commissioner. Being respectful to the public. We treat people like we want to be treated, and we're citizens just like everybody else, and we have to live with these people, you and all the commissioners and me, and we have to strive to be treated like we want to be treated, treat people like we want to be treated. And I would like to start this in saying that thank you for the kind words, especially with the staff and with Patrick with giving kind words to Marine Patrol. We don't do it for that, but it goes a long way when people see that, and we do like that. Now, in saying that, I want to talk a little bit about Marine Patrol before we get into the citation report. As you may not know, we work in operation with a national operation called Dry Water, Operation Dry Water. It normally it culminates around I'd say 4th of July weekend. And it's strictly, we mainly look for boating under the influence citations. We had a very active year this year. Actually, in saying that, we were actually nominated to be the middle size agency of the year. They nominated us for that. Matter of fact, we're going to receive that award in New Hampshire in the end of the month. And that means a lot because we're looking at multiple hundreds of agencies that participate in this. And we were able to bring forth our best effort in doing this and helping, the boating public. Also, Corporal Dylan Kesson, he was nominated for Officer of the Year for NASBLA, which is, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you what it was for. NASBLA is the National Association of State Boating Law Enforcement Administrators. They're the one that presents these awards. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I would like to read the award he received. It says, Operation Drywater, Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, Officer of the Year. This certifies the award to Corporal Dylan Kesson for exemplary dedication and professionalism during the preparation and execution of the 2022 Operation Drywater campaign. Thanks to your efforts, you are making a difference in recreational boating safety by raising awareness about the dangers of boating under the influence and by removing impaired operators from the nation's waterways, protecting the community you serve. That means a lot. Dylan, would you please come up here?
Thanks, Chief.
Dylan he's a hard charger. He's going to go far. I see him being the chief about 20 years, but he's going to do well. Thank you, Dylan.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate you.
All right, got it. All right, enough of that. I'm very proud of our people. They, as they say, the men make the man, and that is the truth. They make my job. I love coming to work here because I've got a bunch of great personnel. This agency is awesome, and I've been here a long time. In saying that, we had a relatively mild August. Nothing just jumps out at us. I mean, it was pretty self-explanatory. Let me see how many stops we had. I want to say we had roughly 1,900 stops that month. These people are really pushing forward, and they're striving to be the best and doing their job. We had a couple of accidents that a few injuries, nothing major. No one passed away, which is awesome. We strive for that. We try to keep everybody in check with that. But other than that, everything looks in line. If you have any questions, please feel free.
I don't know why this just popped up to me, but whenever I was looking at the crab stuff, it got me to thinking. I know there's been a lot of, we've come out of this month where there's a lot of crabs around the islands. Do they have to have a crabbing license to catch them with dip nets or pick them up and have them in their possession, or is that just if you're running traps?
That's just if you're trapping them.
Okay, that's what I thought. I don't know.
But you have to go by
Stuff
the
goes through my
limits
head
and all that stuff
sometimes.
also. You can't just be picking them up. You have to go by the size limit and the creel and all that.
Yeah. All right.
Anyone?
All right. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And once again, thank you for the kind words.
All right. We're going to move on down to Miss Leslie for Finance and Administration.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Leslie Brewer, CFO. I'll be presenting the financials for the month ended August 31st. It'll work. Huh? Oh, has it not been turned on yet? There we go. Okay. At the end of August, our state revenue was $3.2 million. Our agency revenue was $3.3 million. Our state net income was $2.4 million, and our agency net income was $1 million. At the end of August, we had 98.3% of our budget remaining for the agency and 98.2% for Tidelands. Anyone have any questions?
I think so. Thank you. All right, Miss Charmaine.
Good morning. The Mississippi Department of Marine Resources was mentioned 18 times in local, state, and national media since the August MACMR meeting. News items included how to find boat launches on the Mississippi Gulf Coast using our website, Marine Patrol keeping boaters safe during the Labor Day weekend, and in this month's issue of Mississippi Living magazine, Senior Master Sergeant Daphne Moore and Senior Master Sergeant Jada Whittington were featured in the article Women on Patrol, which highlighted the officers and the great job they do for our agency. Marine Patrol participated in the City of Gulfport's Children Health and Wellness Fair, at the Lyman Community Center on August 27th, and the St. Patrick High School Career and College Fair on September 14th. The final 2022 Off-Bottom Oyster Aquaculture Training Program class was held on Saturday, September 10th at the Biloxi Smallcraft Harbor. Before the class traveled to the aquaculture training park, a seed counting tutorial was held to show them how to properly count and weigh their seed oysters. All 8 members of the training program were present at the class, and each member was allotted approximately 9,000 seed oysters each. The class then traveled to the training park where they deployed their seed oysters into their first aquaculture cage. The Lyman Aquaculture Hatchery at MDMR took part in the Sawyer Brooks Memorial Fishing Tournament on August 20th by assisting in holding and releasing over 100 live bass back to the Jordan River waters after weigh-in. The Grand Bay Near had an active summer of community outreach and programming. Over the summer, they hosted USM's Barrier Island Ecology class for a field trip and debris cleanup, where students collected 350 pounds of debris. Near education staff hosted 2 teacher workshops for local teachers. The NEAR's Coastal Training Program also led an invasive species workshop for local natural resources and land managers. Several kayaking trips also occurred with Paddle the Gulf and Dauphin Island Sea Lab's marine biology classes. The NEAR hosted 2 boater safety classes led by Lieutenant Jeff Payne. The NEAR was also invited to speak for several summer library programs themed Oceans of Possibilities, where they taught groups about the estuary. They went to the Margaret Sherry Library in Biloxi, the Kiln Public Library, and 8 libraries in the Jackson-George County Library System. The agency sponsored the Biloxi Seafood Festival and featured a booth at the festival, which was held September 10th and 11th. We had hundreds of visitors at our booth where MDMR staff handed out publications, fish ruler stickers, fish posters, and various items promoting Mississippi seafood. And we launched our annual photo contest where the winning photos will be used in the agency's 2023 calendar. We ask that submitted photos depict an aspect of the marine resources available on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, including recreational and commercial fishing, coastal preserves, marine plant and animal life, marsh areas, boating, and Mississippi seafood. The deadline to submit entries is Friday, October 28th, and they can be emailed to publicaffairs@dmr.ms.gov.
A lot going on this month. That's great. Thank you. All right. Marine fisheries. The Rhody Arms Show. You want to go first, or we're going to do that first?
Nah, I'm going to go. Trevor's on baby duty, so y'all get me. He had a newborn, so. We both have 2 records. Both of them will be the youth records. You know this young man, Mr. Rhody Arms. The first one is a redfin needlefish. It's a new record at 2.9 ounces. Here's a picture of the needlefish. And here's a picture of Rhody with the needlefish. Second is a youth fly fishing record, a hardhead catfish. It's also a new record of 1 pounds, 3.5 ounces. And again, Mr. Rhody Arms. There's the catfish. And he's learning how to pose well, so there he is. So currently the staff gives a motion to recommend adoption of the new state records. Or we need a motion.
Do we have a motion to approve the records?
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we're done, right?
You ain't getting away that easy.
Just a brief red snapper report. Today is the 84th day that the season has been open. As of today, we have our estimated harvest is 103,305 pounds, which represents 68.2% of our current ACL. So that's where we stand. It's been slow going as of late, but that's the current snapper report.
Okay. So we got some room left.
We got some room.
What about our speckled trout assessment?
The assessment has been done. It is completed. We sent it out for peer review. We had some very good reviews come back. The state of Louisiana gave us one, Alabama gave us one, and North Carolina participated this time. And it was a little different review, so we're going through that. But we want to make sure that we address all of the when you send it out like that, you want to make sure that you address all their concerns. They didn't have any major concerns. It just gave us a few things to think about. So we should be presenting that here sooner than later. I'm hoping by the end of this month, we'll have the reviews taken into consideration and any corrections made that we feel like need to be made, and be well on our way to bringing that to the commission.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Any other questions? All right, so other business. We need to ask that we move the October 18th meeting to October 11th. We'll need a motion to make that change. If no one has any objections, I'll make the motion to move the meeting.
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor?
All right.
All right. All right. So we will not meet on October 18th. We will meet on October 11th right here. And do we have any other business?
Ronnie, that the time will stay the same, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it will still be 9 a.m.
All right.
All right. I'm not hearing any other business. We do have a public comment today. Mr. Gilbert Ramsey.
Good morning. Well, recently I shot Mr. James Davis an email. He's in your permit office, resource management, to introduce my special use permit for Deer Island. Well, the application is on file on y'all's website, isn't appropriate for what I'm introducing. What I'm introducing is paraplegic opportunity. Like they do at Grand Bay over, they have a mobility opportunity for wheelchairs. They have a drop-in ramp boat they have access for in Grand Bay. We need that over here to associate them near the VA so they take them to the Deer Island. I have this for us. I have a BP contract, Project 1273, Enhancement Recreation. The money's available. They've been waiting on me to partner up. We're collaborating with the university and the VA and y'all with the Mississippi Development Authority for Assistive Tourism. I have this because of the tourism, the market, because it's fixing to eliminate because of Labor Day. We want to initiate more economic development, workforce development opportunities with Mississippi Development Rehabilitation Service, with other venues. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here for y'all's direction. Mr. Joe knows about me. Mr. Aspen knows about me. Governor Barber remembers me. They all know me. And I'm going to watch for another idea with the Red Cross. Have patience. I'm with y'all. I'm purchasing 80 acres north of Ocean Springs. Organic garden to feed the homeless. We have a veteran bottled water company launching. Donating houses, caskets, and dormitories. We're coming out of the woods. I'm honored to do this for our hospitality state, represented appropriately. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ramsey. That's all the public comments we had. So I would like to take a minute and touch on what Joe mentioned earlier. We'd like to dedicate today's meeting in memory of Mr. Victor Marver. He was a great loss for the Mississippi Gulf Coast and the seafood industry. So we'd like to dedicate today's meeting to him before we adjourn. All right. If we have nothing else, we're going to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that. All in favor?
All right.
All right. Thank you, folks.